going to be day one, a violent vertical edge setter.
I see some gas off the edge. Get that mindset to put your shoulder on somebody. Dig, drop. You're finished. Hey, first down. This is weird. It works the best right now.
Well, hello, everybody. Here we are again. Welcome to the After Hours Jets Fest. I am excited to be here. Sadly, this will be the last After Hours Jets Fest until the draft has been completed. We are moving the energy that we put into this show over to the Monday night show, the 10 o'clock mock every Monday night, which I'm very excited about. I just can't do both. I can't do it. I don't have the data. I don't have the data to do it, boys. I literally, I use about almost 300 gigs a month on this stuff. So, and I'm on Wi-Fi. You guys know the story. So anyway, I'm happy to be here with you guys. I can't wait to see where it is that we're going to go tonight. This show's great, man. We end up going in some pretty weird and odd directions at times. We never know. And that's what's so cool about it. A little less formatted, right? So let's see what we're doing here. We got Paris in the house, Eric Craig, Mark Riz. What's up, Mark? Jettison. Eminon's here. Sneakers to Boots, Utah Bullets. What's up, dude? Word. All things considered, I'm excited for this offseason. Yeah, man. Kimmer last time. I was excited for last offseason as well. Especially because we fired Gase. Like everything was predicated on firing Gase. And don't forget, we like to forget that stuff, that it wasn't a foregone conclusion. There was the Joe Douglas-Adam Gase relationship, the ineptitude of the Johnsons. At that time, Gase and Douglas were on equal footing. So we didn't know. I wanted to know, but that's why I wanted to lose out. It wasn't only Trevor Lawrence that I wanted. I wanted to lose out. I wanted there to be no question that Adam Gase needed to go. That was my number one goal. So once we did that, then it was the head coaching search, right? And it was, which quarterback are we going to take? We still had Sam Darnold. So it was crazy, man. It really was. Michael Foster's here. That's good news. We got Matthias Simon. Yeah, man. I am on again, buddy. You know how we do it. New York Jets fan 4. Brian Lemos. Yeah, man. You guys are the best. Truly. Eric Craig, I said, Wild Billy Boy, right on, man. And who else we got? A bunch of you guys just came in. Kelly McTavish is here. Craig Sofola. Draft can't come soon enough. See, I disagree, Craig. This is my favorite stuff. And the truth is like I'm just now starting to really dig into the prospects. I have my overall knowledge, right? I actually, I watch a little college ball, which this year was tough. I was traveling a lot this last year, so it was a little harder, even when I stopped in Virginia for that little while. But this is right now, this last week or so, I'm just now really doing my deep dive stuff. I like to watch a lot of full game tape. That's my go-to. Plus, I watch other breakdown guys. There's guys that I like, that I think that they do a good job. I like those guys. And then I read all my reports and all that kind of shit, man. Friggle D, what's up? Kaz is here. Right, Stud City. Strickland, B2B, 111079. What's up, man? He says, I love your podcast. Listen to it on Spotify every week. Particularly love this week's off-season fix for next season. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I know there's a lot of you guys that listen to it audio. Just the audio version. I get quite a few listens on that. Downloads, we call it, right? So I appreciate that, man, truly. So Jets Blues is here. Ant Jets, Yoshi's back. Straight up 100. What's up, buddy? Jets Mess. Yeah, man. So Hank is here. Right on. So you guys are the best. So I'm going to turn it over to you. I'll just start talking, but I want to know what you guys want to talk about. That's the way this one starts. Austin Ruiz says, thanks for the stream. Need something to listen to during my overnights. Well, good, man. See, that's how that works. I'm glad to be here. And again, sorry, this will be the last Tuesday show until the week after the draft. That's when I'll move it back over to this slot. And then, but starting, I actually started it yesterday, but really starting next week, the Monday show will take the spot of the Tuesday show. Again, I just don't have the data to do both, guys, and I'm moving around. Right now I'm in a horse farm, a horse rescue, I should say. We are parked in the property of a horse rescue. So I spent the day helping them tear down some rock walls, fixing some roof, putting together some cabinet, stuff like that. So we do. We come here. My daughter gets to ride horses, and I do work around the horse farm. So that's what we're doing. We were here last year too. I love it here. So Mo Lake, what's up, buddy? The new edition is bad. Oh, this, dude. What do you guys think of that? Let me show you if I can pull it. The wires. Hold on. I'm going to unplug this. I want to show you guys something. Okay. Can you see? You see this? This is an end zone. You can actually see the AFC. Can you see it? The AFC thing. So this is an end zone. There are yard markers all the way down. Can you see it? Let me show you. So there's the AFC. See it? And the 10-yard line. You see that there, man? The detail on this thing is incredible. Like, I couldn't be happier. I was just talking to this guy. Hold on. Sorry. So here it goes. And it has all kinds of light patterns and stuff. And it's just, I was talking to him and he said, hey, man, I can build you a sign. I said, yeah, I don't know. Just make it something with my face. And that's what he came up with. So, yeah, I'll put their stuff in the description. If you need any custom stuff, man, fucking guy's so good. Head Turner Designs or something on head.turner on Instagram. Just take a look at what this guy invents. He's an inventor. It's incredible. Anyway, thank you for noticing. I appreciate that. It is a work of art. It's all right. I agree, man. I really do. What state? Yeah, Paris. I'm still in Florida. I'm in Ocala, Florida. I'm like right between. I'm like kind of. I guess I'm Ocala. Yeah, I'm close to Gainesville too. But we're gonna do some horse stuff while we're here, and then I'm going to New Orleans. Hopefully, the friggin' internet's good there. So, how does my internet look tonight? Am I okay? I'm sorry, but I had two real big crap outs during Ryan's stream, which is sad. I hate it. I was doing so well, and then I had two moments where I couldn't get it back without a complete shutdown. So it is what it is. So what's up, Lawrence Wapples? Yeah, man, it's good to see you. You killed the offseason mock. Thank you, Kelly. And I'm going to tell you, I already have significant changes of heart, and it's funny. I get your comments, right? You guys are the best. And you know me, I try to read every comment. I don't always get to do that, but I do. I'm right now, I had like 120 comments and I read every single one and I replied to probably 110, truly. So I can't always reply. It's just, it takes a lot of time, as you know, but I sincerely love reading what you guys have to say. And a lot of you guys have good freaking ideas, man. So you present ideas and then I go, it's a good point. Maybe I shouldn't have done this or that. Like, that's what I like. Like, it's about this whole thing. Like, we like to get into our little nooks. We read about a guy, we watch a guy, we fall in love. And we stay there through the whole offseason, and we never consider anything else. We just defend our position all year. I don't like to do that. I like to evolve. Like, look, in a month from now, I might learn some things and change my mind on Kyle Hamilton. I might. Sincerely. Like last year, I changed my mind on quite a few guys. So I did. I'll tell you what, though. I was totally happy with Zach Wilson, even though I wasn't a big Zach Wilson head. Like, there are guys that's all they wanted, Zach Wilson. I got called a hater because I didn't commit to Zach last year. But I would have been just as happy with Fields, Trey McBride. I was like, yeah, man, whatever one they like, I like them all, and they all have issues for me. Zach's issue for me, which I got told wasn't real by hundreds of fans, was the fact that he never really was under pressure. So we didn't see what he was like under pressure. When he was under pressure, he had significantly more difficulty, right? And then there's the whole thing with the competition, but you can only play who's in front of you. So I don't knock a guy for that, but it's the truth. The NFL is going to be different. And what did we see this year? We saw Zach under pressure, man. and it got to him. Now he has elite escapability, man. And like Saleh said in his the last game press conference, he said, what we learned about Zach, all that stuff that he does, it's not fluky. He didn't just magically like get out, like make a miracle play here and there. That's his skill set. That's what he can do. And he said that, and that's really cool to see this year. But let's be real, man. The first half of the year, fucking Zach wasn't handling it well. And that's because he was not used to that. He had 5 to 7 seconds at BYU. So that was a concern. That's all. But yeah, man, and we got AVT. Dude, I was hoping we got AVT. I didn't want to trade 2/3. It is what it is. You know, I wasn't stoked about the thirds, but getting that fourth back helped me. I was like, okay, right. We only really gave up one pick. We still got the selection. Let's see. Do you think we finally have our back or need to see more? I think we got him, man. I do. No, I'm not convinced. I'm like, this guy's elite. Like, not like that. But I think he has shown with what was going on. He had the number one drops. The stat count last week. He had most catchable passes that were dropped in the NFL. 12.7% passes were. So what does that do? The first quarter of the season, he was the most sacked, most pressured, and most hurried quarterback in the NFL. So what does that do? So I think that his season, the way it evolved, was gorgeous. Gorgeous. Now, I would have liked to see wins, maybe more touchdowns, sure. But I think he proved to me that he's a good man. And we at him. We give him time. And we give him guys that aren't going to drop his friggin' passes when they hit them in their hands or on the head. I'm going to pass somebody in the head, whatever. Just don't drop his passes anymore. Corey Davis had a rough year, in my opinion. But again, it was a whirlwind year and every lot's going on around here. So Zach, to me, I think we got him, guys. I think we got our guy. Let's see. I see a super chat in here. I want to make sure I get to it. Cyril, what's up, man? Thank you. You didn't put a comment, so try to put a question in here. I'll try to make sure I see it. I'm going to keep my eye out for you. As many comments as I can, but I'm also long-winded and wordy. So I don't just answer a question like, yeah, that's not how I roll. I can't. I don't know how to do that. It's funny. I tell my wife, all right, listen, I got to record a video. I'm going to make it like a 5-minute video so it doesn't take long or whatever. Dude, I'm talking to 18 minutes in. I'm like, dude, why am I still talking? I don't know how to fucking shut up. I really don't. So anyway, so I can't get to all of them. So if you want to make sure your comment gets in or your question, super chats are a great way to do it. And I sincerely appreciate that. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to get to some of your questions. Let's see. Monday Night Mocks rock. Yeah, I agree, Lawrence. We had a great time last night, man. Let me tell you. That was a great one. It was intense. We had like almost 200 people in there. And it was, you know what? It seemed more positive last night. Like we always are going to have our contentious moments, right? Guys want this guy and the vote goes in other ways. People get upset. But there was none of that. Like last year, there were times I literally had to stop the mock and go, guys, calm down. You know what I mean? Like we're fucking losing our minds. But honestly, it felt really loose last night. It felt legitimately positive and excited. And we got the best damn mock I've seen. You guys want to see it? Let me see if here, I'll show you right now. I'll show you this mock real quick, just so you can see what we did. All right. Here we go. Just really quickly. Here we go. Do. Okay. Here it comes. Okay. All right. So look, we started up top. We got Aiden Hutchinson at 4. Okay. Then we got Kyle Hamilton at 10. Then we got Trey McBride at 35. Then we got Christian Harris, 4-year starter at Alabama. Or I think, is he a junior? Yeah, I think he's a 3-year starter. Alec Lindstrom, the center from Boston College at 69. Then we doubled up on linebacker. The value was too good to pass up. And we got Brandon Smith from linebacker U at 87. Then we got Jeremy Ruckert. We doubled up at tight end too, because his dad's awesome. We got him at 108. Then we started to back up the O-line with Thayer Mumford from Ohio State. Then we got Hassan Haskins, Rusty Spooner's favorite running back from Michigan. Then we doubled up at safety, and we got Isaiah Polamalu out of USC at pick 162. Then we got a wide receiver, Amika Amizi out of North Carolina State. And then we got the Viking, Zach von Valkenburg, who I did look up last night, guys. I did. Remember I said, oh my God, I love his name so much. We gotta look him up. So I did. I could only find high school stuff on him. It was weird. So I don't think the country knows about this guy yet. You know what I mean? It's a great draft. So that was so good. And that's what happens when we're all constructive and positive. It's a great time. So let's see what Cyril said. I think there it is. All right. So thank you, Cyril. Or is it Cyril or Cyril? You got to tell me. I don't want to say it wrong. So this is what he said. Cyril Devine. Or you might even be, just tell me if you're a man or a woman too. I honestly, I don't want to offend because I don't care one way or the other. I still like you. Don't matter. But all right, here we goes. So he says trade for 1,800 points. That's what 4 is worth. For 13, 45, and 77. 13 is 1,150. 45 is 450. 77 is 205, and together they equal 1,805. Good. Then trade 1,300 for 18 and 50. So we got 13, 18, 45, 50, 40, 77 for our 2 picks. And we still have 2 top 20 picks. Then trade 45 and 50 for number 20, 850. 13, 18, 20, 36, 39, 68, 77, or something like that. I like that. That's good. Let's see. What do you guys think of this? Let's talk about this. What do you guys think? I'll tell you what I think. Oh, is it my internet's gone down? Is it? Let me see. It looks good to me. It looks good, man. Let me see this real quick. See what I got. Give me 2 seconds here. It's weird. It's good. It's been like really good, and then it goes all the way to nothing for like a minute or 2 minutes. My download is kind of weak, but upload is what I'm looking for here. Hold on. So what do you guys think of this trade down scenario? I think that's brilliant. I don't think something like that is realistic. Oh, I should be money, man. I got 25 upload right now, which to you guys at home sounds like garbage, but for me, that's creme de la creme, baby. So I should be good. All right, let's see. Bean, you just propelled the Viking von Valkenburg into another round of the draft just because you drafted him in your first. I know. That's probably right, Eric. We're gonna spread some love on that guy. Okay, Jeremy says that, and that's fine. All right, that's good. So let's see what you guys think. Jake says good for me. Hey. I only drop back from 4 if the top 2 edge guys are off the board. I agree, Jets Blues. I would trade back from 4 if, for me, it extends to Hamilton too. It would have to be a rich deal to pass on Hamilton, in my opinion. Again, this is assuming that his health checks out, right? Because he's that good of a player from my perspective. But if the 2 edge rushers in Hamilton are gone and somebody comes up and says, hey, I'll give you that deal that Cyril said. Where'd it go? I'll get it back up here for you guys. There it is. So this deal here, if somebody came up and said, hey, man, I'll give you 13, 45, and 77 for pick number 4. I might go, okay. I might want a little bit more, though. I might say you got to throw in a 5th. Something like that. And they would. If they're that close. If they're there, man, they'll give you a 5th. For sure. And then 10, you went back to, you got 18 and 50. Hey, because then you're still going to get guys like Devin Lloyd, Nakobe Dean. You're still going to get guys. Linderbaum is going to be there at 13, guys. I'm telling you. I'm convinced. The NFL knows you don't take top 10 centers. It's very rare because they have the second highest bust rate out of any position in the NFL over the last 25 years. Now, what does that mean? I don't know. It's not something that teams do. Anyway, I think this is pretty interesting. And I would be good with something like that. Honestly. Let's see. I give my left leg for a draft class. I know, right, Joe? That was good. Yeah, if Thibodeaux isn't available. Bo Melton. I think we talked about Bo Melton. Riley wanted Bo Melton. Yeah, that's the thing. Jeremy's got a point. You got to remember, to trade back, you got to have somebody that's interested in a player up there to give that away. So somebody likes a player so much that they want to trade you their first. So, use their first on the player, and they want to give you a second and a third for that player. Right? Now, pick 4, even though the numbers check out, Cyril, even though the numbers check out, the truth is that when you're trying to jump up that high, most of the time there's a premium to that. When you're trying to get somebody at pick 4 to move back, usually there's a premium. So you usually overpay, just like we did last year with the 2/3. Which I forget. I look at the numbers then, but you have to make sure you got to be the one that's aggressive. It's not like, hey, this is fair. It's like, yeah, but I don't want to trade. I want to pick a player right here. And they go, yeah, you have to make them want to trade. So if somebody, you got to think, what players could inspire somebody to give up 3 picks and change for? Maybe a quarterback, right? Hey, let's see how the quarterbacks go through the combine and their pro days and all that stuff. Senior Bowl. Let's see how these guys look. Hula Bowl. All that stuff. So let's see how they do that. And then we'll talk, because the quarterbacks rise every year, man. Every year. Now, they don't always rise to the top 10, but they rise every year. Like the year that Daniel Jones and Dwayne Haskins went, the Redskins were, the rumor was the Redskins offered us a trade. They wanted to trade up for Dwayne Haskins. Now, Gettleman thought they wanted to trade up for Daniel Jones. That's why he took him there. The fool. But they tried to trade up. McCagnon didn't take it. You want to know why? Because it wasn't going to be the same price that he paid to move up for Sam. So think about the optics of this. 1 year, McCagnon trades 3 seconds to move up 3 spots. Okay, that's a second round pick for each spot he moved to grab Sam Darnold. And then the Redskins call and they want to give a second and a third to move up 10 spots. So even though the value's still there because it's not a rich draft, you got to look at it like I'm recouping some of my value back. Like taking Quinnen up top was stupid. We already had Leo and a good D line. It's the one position we didn't need, really. So it was a silly thing to do, but McCagnon couldn't do it because of the optics. That's why Adam Gase walked out of the draft when he took Quinnen Williams and denied the trade. He had the opportunity to get a second and a third, whatever it was. And Gase left the draft. Remember that? I mean, now, did he handle that right? No, Gase is a tool, dude. But that was the beginning. Chris Johnson saw that and said, wait a minute, you had an opportunity and you took another defensive tackle, your second top 5, defensive tackle. So anyway, like Jeremy said, you got to have guys that want to go out. I think the quarterbacks can rise. If Hamilton's there, people might be considering that. Maybe they want Karlaftis. Maybe they want to jump the Giants for Karlaftis. It's very possible, man. If he has a great combine, I'm telling you, everything's going to get wacky. Everything. If Karlaftis and Ojabo have like and as well as Thibodeaux and Hutchinson. If they have like lights out combines, guys, it's going to go fucking berserk. Like in the draft we did last night, guys, Karlaftis was taken before Hutchinson. So I don't know. Who knows? Who knows, everybody? So it can get crazy. Utah Bullets, thanks for the super chat, my friend. Another one without the comment. Is something going on? Or are you guys just making donations? I'd hate to see your questions not get in there. You know what I mean? So, but I appreciate it, man, truly. Jeremy wants to know about the thought on the tight end we signed in futures contracts. They're fodder. They're camp fodder. Lawrence Cager, I believe they liked. Right? Lawrence Cager had a good final preseason game with Josh Johnson as quarterback. He had that touchdown. Beautiful. Great catch. Lawrence Cager's talent is not in question. Lawrence Cager, think about this. He only had like 19 receptions and like 10 of them were touchdowns. Think about that. Something, I don't know the exact numbers, but he can literally never stay on the field. And it's myriad injuries, man. Wrist, knee, ankle. It's like, it's just the guy is fragile. It sucks. He was injured for us 3 times. Remember his rookie year? He got in a couple games. He played a decent game. Next game, he got hurt. So what are you going to do with a guy like that? You know what I mean? So Chidi Took says, did you hear the rumors of Deshaun Watson going to the New York Giants with Coach Brian Flores? I did hear that. But I think, while I do think Brian Flores makes a ton of sense for the Giants, he's from Brooklyn. I'm going to tell you right now, the Giants, I don't know, man. I think it's possible that they make a move that doesn't necessarily make sense. That's just what I think right now. They've never hired a minority coach either. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think. So I don't know if they will or not. I don't know if they will. And I don't think it's because of that. I mean, you know what I'm saying. It's just there are layers there that the Giants are kind of weird with that stuff. So I don't know. I think it makes a ton of sense. I think, number one, I think Brian Flores is a fucking damn good coach, man. He took Miami from garbage and they turned him around. He was 10-6. Now they missed the playoffs at 10-6. And then this year they finished, what was it, 8-1, 8-2, something like that. They missed the playoffs again. But dude, that's one of those, that's a resurgence. All kinds of injuries, the crazy Fitzpatrick Tua stuff, like all that weird shit. Now, some of that's, you can blame him. But so here, let me say this. If Brian Flores is the head coach of the New York Giants, number one, I think it's a slam dunk hire. I think he makes a lot of sense being from Brooklyn, having 3 years as a head coach. Coming here, he's not a rookie anymore, man. He knows stuff, and he did good things. And he loves Deshaun Watson. It just so happens the Giants have the capital to do it. Makes sense, guys. And look, Deshaun Watson said that he would waive his no-trade clause for the Jets. Why? New York. That's why. It wasn't like I love the Jets. It was like he would love to play for New York. He'd be an instant rock star here. If the craziness subsides. I don't know what the hell's going on with all that. But if all that shit subsides, I think Deshaun Watson and Brian Flores would, I mean, if the Giants can pull that off, guys, we're in trouble as far as taking over New York. Especially because everybody hates Zach Wilson anyway. They do. It's clear to me. Bart Scott, Samini, they do not like this kid. I don't know why. Could be political. Could be, I don't know. Maybe they had a conversation with him. They don't like him. They think he's snooty. I don't know. I don't know. But it is clear as day to me. If you saw Samini ask the question to Joe Douglas at the end of the year, if you watched that question the way he asked it, there's no other conclusion than he does not like Zach Wilson. Can't possibly see it another way, in my opinion. But so we got Zach, but you bring Deshaun Watson here with Brian Flores, I think it's going to be some noise, my friends. There's going to be some noise. All right, let me get to this. So Utah Bullets, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Let me see. I see another one down here. I'm going to try to get to as many as I can. Hey, Vanfaduced, what's up, buddy? Thank you for the super chat. He says, love the sign in the background. It adds personality to the setup. Thank you. I agree. So look, I still got my fan stuff, right? Like, where am I? So you got this over here. This is what we got opening day this year. The welcome back fans thing. You see it? So we got the welcome back fans thing. And then there's this one. Let me go this way. That's what we got opening day 2 years ago. Well, yeah, it was opening day 2 years ago. I took my son to his first home game ever. No, it was the first home opener. I don't know what it was. Something like that. But yeah, man, I agree. And I appreciate that. I dig it, man. I think it's beautiful. I do. So thank you. Thank you for noticing, man. He said Miami should hire Gase. I totally agree. 100%. I'm 100% behind that. Thomas Cahill with the super chat. Thank you, sir. Says, is there a beast defensive tackle down the line we need to take him? Our defensive line has regressed. Well, Thomas, I'm going to tell you I disagree. Okay. Because number one, we have invested in the defensive tackle position for many years. We still have, even though he's a free agent, Fadukasi. We still have Quinnen Williams. These are draft picks that we have. We signed Sheldon Rankins in free agency. He's under contract this year. We used a 6th round pick on Jonathan Marshall last year. Okay. We have Kyle Phillips, who he's a free agent as well, but we're probably going to end up re-signing him. So, and then we have JFM, who we just gave a whole bunch of money on. Now, technically speaking, he's a defensive end. He's a 5 tech, but he doesn't have the edge to be a defensive end. JFM is going to be more effective inside. That's where he has his success. Just inside the tackles. That's where you want him. And the reason that everything was a mess, because you're not wrong that they regressed. They had a good chunk. They had good chunks of the season, but ultimately they regressed. But I think that's because the edge pass rush section of the line was non-existent. Why? Because our big free agent went down. His replacement went down. Our rotational guy went down. And his replacement went down. And who I'm talking about is Carl Lawson, Bryce Huff, Vinny Curry, and Ronald Blair. They all went down. So we threw a 6th and got Shaq Lawson, who I think was a good signing. He was solid and he played all year. He wasn't great by any means, but he was solid. You know, so but he's not a dynamic edge rusher. So I think the fact that we were one-dimensional took away the ability for us to have as much success as we wanted to. That's another reason why I think Fadukasi's a goner, because he regressed specifically. So, Thomas, I think that if we get the edge and we're able to keep guys healthy, which is a big if, I think that you're going to see the defensive tackle section really come up. I'd hate to see them use any real resources on a defensive tackle. You want to sign one in free agency, like a depth guy, sure. But I would hate to see them use one of their premium picks on a defensive tackle again. Not this year. Not this year. See what these guys got. See what Quinnen really is, right? Get the edge rushers. Get the support behind him, the linebackers. You know, fix it. At least put some assets into the defense and see what he is. Okay? Because he had some moments this year. You know what Quinnen did this year that was positive? He had the ability to come up big at big moments. 4th downs, 3rd downs, 3rd and 3, like that kind of stuff. He's had more than one sack on a 3rd and a 4th down. Like he had a knack for coming up big when you needed him to come up big, which is big time stuff. That's something Jamal Adams never did. I think we had like 1 or 2 in the 3 years he was here. Big plays at that moment. Jamal had some big plays, but it wasn't at like the key moment of the game. It was like 2nd quarter, 1st down. That's Jamal. You know what I mean? Quinnen had a knack for coming up big when you need him to come up big. So his season was a disappointment overall, but it definitely wasn't bad. Definitely wasn't bad. It wasn't a negative season. He didn't like crumble. So I think that we get the edge rushers and you leave the defensive tackles alone, get the linebackers to support them, maybe get a vet cornerback, get it. We need safeties, man. We have none. That is a problem. So that's my thoughts on it, Thomas. But there are a few defensive tackles, for sure. Let's see here. Let's see. Cage. Let's see. Eric Craig, what's up, buddy? Cager is best used for depth wide receiver or tight end. You bring in on red zone plays. Well, that's the thing. He's 6'5". He's 6'5", man. You want to and he has long arms on top of that and good hands. So, I mean, shit. I just don't understand the move. Well, let me explore this with you. His problem was that he can't stay healthy. That was his problem. It wasn't talent. It wasn't size and all that stuff. It was his injury history. Moving to tight end where you have more contact, that seems off to me. Now, if he took this last year and bulked up, added 20 pounds, 25 pounds, I don't know. I think it's hard to do in a year. But if he did, and that's the way he's going, and the Jets go, holy shit, he added 18 pounds. We're going to keep him. We'll give him a futures contract, keep him attached to us for the offseason, bring him into training camp and see what he's got. Maybe that extra muscle, the extra body mass helps him to actually not be injured. Maybe. Is that how it works? Because New York Jets fan 4 has got it. He says, Cager hurts himself sleeping, man. Why did he get fired? Garrett, I'm going to tell you, I have no idea. They said that he didn't get along or said like there was some disagreements with the GM. You know, there was also, I saw a story that said it revolved around Tua, that the team likes Tua and Flores doesn't. So they chose Tua over Flores. I don't know. That's tough for me to swallow. But maybe it was the Deshaun Watson stuff. Maybe they got into a big argument about some stuff. I don't know. I was blown away when we saw that. That Monday morning, you know, what do they call it? Black Monday? All the coaches get fired. I was blown away. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, really? That doesn't seem smart. And I was very happy about it because I don't like them. Yoshi says, GreenBean, remember when Schefter was adamant we were keeping Darnold? Look at any rumor that comes out now with a grain of salt. Absolutely. And I'm going to ask you guys, like I got so many DMs today and regular tweets and comments on Instagram and everything about what Connor Hughes said yesterday about he's going to use the 10th overall pick to trade for Ridley. And then he put out a tweet today doubling down. The Jets are only going to use one of their first-round picks. I'm just going to ask you one question. I'm not going to say any more about it. What did Connor Hughes get right last year about Joe Douglas's offseason moves? Tell me what it was. I don't remember one. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I am. The Jets beat had no effing idea what Joe Douglas was doing last year. None. Anything they said didn't happen. They had us attached to Juju Smith-Schuster. That didn't happen. They had us attached to Golladay. That didn't happen. They did not have us attached to Corey Davis, and that did happen. They had no idea about the trade for Sam Darnold. Matter of fact, Rappaport and Schefter, I think Rappaport was the first one. The way that they reported it was it has been filed with the league office. So they didn't even get the rumor. That shit was done, signed, sealed, delivered by the time they knew about it. Rich Cimini hasn't broken us a scoop. Years. He just broke that big scoop. Did you hear about it? Cimini did a good job. He worked real hard, dug out the info, and he reported it to us last week. Anybody know what it was? Zach and his girlfriend they deleted pictures of each other on their Instagrams. Ooh. You know what I mean? This is the shit that they're putting forth. Where's your deconstruction of the defensive edge rushers? Where's your take? Where's the news coming out of the Jets? Connor Hughes said, we're going to give our 10th overall pick for Calvin Ridley. If that happens, I'll come in and I'll apologize to all of you. I think that's ludicrous. So I don't know. You got to remember, guys, this is smoke season. Smoke and mirrors, smoke screens. That's what it is. Everybody, did you hear that shit that came out today? I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of scouts don't like Nakobe Dean. They're talking about Christian Harris. I laughed. I was like, oh, it's starting already. Holy shit. And that's not to say some guys might not like Christian Harris over Nakobe. Of course there are those guys. Guys have completely different views on players. But to say that more scouts like Christian Harris over Nakobe Dean and they don't like him, I find that to be hilarious. Now, what would be the motivation for doing such a thing, for saying something like that? What would be the motivation? Somebody wants Nakobe Dean. They want him to slip. That's what it is. Somebody's putting it out there. Believe me, man. Joe Douglas has his guys putting smoke screens out there, no doubt. As a matter of fact, if the beat reports anything, I would be inclined to think that it's smoke screen given to them by Joe Douglas's guys so they can report something to get it out there. So other national media types grab the story and put it out there, and then other GMs go, really? Is that real? Do they really want Calvin Ridley? What are they working on up there? What is that? I don't think the Calvin Ridley is smoke. I think that's just Connor Hughes making a huge mistake because he's dumb. Wild Billy Boy, thank you for the super chat, my friend. I appreciate it. He says, born in 92, missed the sack exchange. Dad said it was his favorite. How you like them? Thib slips to us with Q, JFM, and Lawson, sack exchange 2.0. Well, number one, let me tell you, I am terribly sorry that you missed the sack exchange because it was fantastic. That was when I became a fan. Like it was the sack exchange. When I became a fan, it was 1982, like the Mud Bowl, right? I watched maybe a couple games that year. I didn't really remember anything. But I remember my aunt Gina being excited about the Jets. And I would watch these games and these guys were just killing the calls. Like, wow, they're so good. And then I fell in love with Freeman McNeil, Wesley Walker, ultimately Al Toon, Mickey Schuler. I was like, wow, I love these guys. So that was a great team, man. And I don't think there's ever been a defense that matches them. Never. As far as getting to the quarterback, never. Still to this day. Don't forget, it was a running league back then, and they had more sacks than anybody. They had half the chances as these guys today. TJ Watt, with all due respect, one of my favorite players in the NFL. Love him. Think he's talented, and I got nothing negative to say. But, dude, he gets 20 more chances a game to sack the quarterback than Mark Gastineau did. No way. So as far as sack exchange 2.0, I'll tell you, Billy Boy, I'm cautious about saying such things because we've said it numerous times before. Remember the Sons of Anarchy? They said that could be the sack exchange 2.0. Remember Jeff Lageman, Marvin Washington, Scott Mercereau, and Dennis Byrd? Sack exchange 2.0. So I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like I believe in jinx. You know what I mean? But let me tell you this. If Carl Lawson stays healthy, which, come on, can we please get one nice thing? You know what I'm saying? Come on. It was a shame they took him from us, whoever they are. If we pair him with like a Thibodeaux and Quinnen Williams and JFM and Rankins on the inside rotating with Jonathan Marshall kind of thing, I think we got the makings of something. I think we're going to lump some people up. That's what I think. And then you back them up, CJ Mosley, Nakobe Dean, or Devin Lloyd, or Christian Harris, or Brandon Smith, one of those guys. Now we're talking. So, yeah, I think it's a lot of potential there. Yeah, put sack exchange was awesome. Put heat on every game, James Luongo says. Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, I've been watching some classic games because in my for my Patreon, starting the 26th, January 26th, we start with the Midnight Miracle. But I've been watching a lot of games. We're going to have private watch parties of classic Jets games. And I was going through different tape, like the Pennington years, the 98 year, the 80s, the sack exchange, all that stuff. And I'm watching our teams, man, and I'm like, I'm watching them with my son. I'm like, hey, take a look at this. He's 13. He's like, wow, look at that defense. I'm like, yeah, boy, let me tell you. He said, how did we never win anything? I said, I don't know. We should have a Super Bowl or two. There's no doubt. We were the best team a couple years. No doubt. We should have won it in 98. We should have won it in 2010. And in my opinion, we should have won it in 1982. Absolutely. Maybe even 86. No, 86 was the Giants. We might have been the best team in AFC. We could have pulled that off. But we weren't. The Giants were going to smack us around like children. That was the Giants. The Lawrence Taylor, Carl Banks, Gary Reasons, Leonard Marsh. That was those Giants. Phil Simms, Joe Morris. Remember that? They were no joke. Joe Asspipe says, love the bean, only a few. Bean? Yeah, I love you, Asspipe. I do. That's a fun name, isn't it? Joe Asspipe, everybody. Jettison says, Dallas game, big play by Jamal to end the game. I remember that. That's what I'm talking about. Give me another one. Like I said, he had a handful. He had a handful. So that's the thing. Jamal, there was one against the Patriots too. Remember he had a coverage on Gronk in the end zone kind of a thing? Like, so I'm not saying Jamal Adams is not a good player. He clearly is. I'm just saying the bang for the buck ain't there, man. It's not there. He's not a big-time player. Usually he makes mistakes at big times. Gets burned a lot. That kind of stuff. So I'm not saying he's not an asset to a team. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying what Quinnen was doing is a little bit more what you want from a big-time player. Just that timing of it. Fourth down. They're going for it on 4th and 1. And he sacks the quarterback. If they're going for it, this is a big 3rd down late in the 4th quarter. Quinnen gets a sack or a run stuff. Like that's what he did that quite a few times just this year, just this year alone. So I just think that Quinnen has that knack, which is very positive. And all the while I'm saying that he disappointed some this season too. You're not wrong, Jettison. I remember that. I know the exact play you're talking about. I remember. Rye's son says Eagles trade up to 4 to get the quarterback for the Giants. I said the Grants, but I know what you mean, Rye's son. Yeah, I think that, dude, that's lots of that can be happening. We have to put that out there. That's what I'm talking about, the smoke. We have to get it out there. Like you'll see, guaranteed there will be reports this year, this offseason, that the Jets are getting calls from teams about quarterbacks. You're going to hear it about the edge rusher. You're definitely going to hear this stuff coming from our beat. That's because Joe Douglas is putting that out there because he has ideas. Now, I hate to even say this because I don't want to out him, but I already know it's happening. No doubt. Everybody knows, though. But you don't know which one's real. That's where the smoke becomes effective. You don't know which one's real. You just don't know. Sneakers to Boots, thank you, my friend, for the super chat. He says, if only there were 2 elite quarterbacks, could JD fleece another team? The lead up to the draft will be fun because of the unknown. Let the healthy debates begin. Right, well said. But here's the interesting thing, Sneakers to Boots. Like I was saying a few minutes ago, the combine didn't happen yet. There are guys that come into the combine mid-round picks and leave first-round picks. It happens every year. Last year, at the beginning of the offseason, Zach Wilson was considered a late first maybe second round pick. He was the 4th or 5th quarterback on the list. After the end of the season and the the whole, I don't even remember if he was at the combine. I don't even know what they did last year, but it was during the offseason that his stock skyrocketed. And he went all the way to the number 2 overall pick. It happens every year. Now, we have hope that can happen this year. Matt Corral, Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis. There's a few guys. We only need one. So if somebody wants to give us 2 firsts, like 2 additional firsts and a second and a third, something like that, dude, you got to take it. Unless Hutchinson or Thibodeaux are there. You got to blow our doors off. If Hutchinson is on the board and somebody wants to call trading, you're like, you better bring more than that, son. You don't come to me with charts and value. You better blow my doors off, just like Ditka did with that friggin' Ricky Williams trade. Remember that? He gave them his entire draft, including a first-round pick that was only a few spots back, 7 spots. So he gave them that first-round pick, so they didn't even lose a first. He gave them their entire draft, the Saints' entire draft class, plus next year's first and third. Somebody comes with that kind of shit, you go, yeah, sure. We'll do that. And then you just take the guy at whatever, 10, 13, whatever it is. You do it. I know, right, Kaz? We played all year with basically one linebacker. And look, Williams had his moments, right? Sherwood had a few plays before he went down. I would have liked to see him this year. But the truth is, Jared Davis was a fail, which is why he's a 1-year contract anyway. It was a tryout year. He did not do well. Sad. I liked him coming out. I did. Yeah, out of college. But it's a big fail. So what are you going to do? You know what I mean? You got to get some linebackers for Mosley. He can't be alone on the field. He's truly sideline to sideline. How about we cut that in half and just give him one side of the field? How about you cut it into thirds and you put Sherwood and Nakobe Dean in there with him? Or Leo Chanel. You know what I mean? One of those guys. Oh, man. Now we're talking. Jets Blues wants to know if there's trade value for Becton. Well, if there is, it's going to be at a low. He's injured. He was injured all year. You never trade low if you can avoid it, right, Jet Blues? You never try. You try to avoid doing that. You try to give guys an opportunity to increase their value if you're thinking about trading them. Now, you didn't say you didn't like Becton as the pick. I loved the pick. I loved it. Smoking weed, something, drugs. Weed ain't even a drug anymore, guys. It shouldn't be considered the same thing. It goes by state to state, right? More and more states are legalized. It's like alcohol. It's like somebody getting caught with a beer in their hand. You go, hey, that's a bad kid, you know? So I don't know. I hear you. There were a lot of people I talked to thought Becton was risky. Tristan Wirfs was the safe pick. The problem with Tristan Wirfs is that we needed a left tackle. So we were trying to move. We needed that more. So moving him over to left was a riskier move than just playing him at right tackle, which is his natural position, which is what the Bucs are doing. Right? But Tristan Wirfs, man, he's an athletic freak. And he was the safer pick. Joe Douglas went for the moon with Becton. I think Becton's fine. I think all this stuff is just the beat. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but there's been nothing that's come out. Any pictures of him, he doesn't look fucking fat. He doesn't. He looks like he's 360 pounds. He doesn't look fat. He looks strong. So I don't know. I just don't know. Scott Wilson says, Hendrickson. Not sure what that means. I think you're probably saying like the guy that we chose over Hendrickson is injured and Hendrickson had a good year. Is that what you're saying, Scott? I think that's what you might be saying. Oh, here's a Go Hanger. Wish we could have gotten Hendrickson, but it didn't happen. Let me tell you, when we were, that's another thing the beat got wrong. They had us linked to Hendrickson, and we came up with Carl Lawson. Funny, isn't it? They said the Jets are talking to trading or whatever. And it's like, they got that wrong too. They never get anything right. Not with the Joe Douglas regime so far. Very, very little. But I think Carl Lawson was the better signing than Hendrickson. Hendrickson was, I would have been totally happy with him. I said as much when we were talking about it back in the day. But Carl Lawson was more exciting. He was the better pick. He tore his Achilles. What do you want? We don't know what we could have been talking about. He might have had 52 sacks for all we know. He might have been the greatest defensive end in history. We don't know. Injuries are the worst. Aren't they the worst? I'm so sick of friggin' injuries, man. This thing that Joe Douglas did with the whole revamping of the medical staff, it's gotta work. Because this shit is for the birds. Lawrence Wapples, D-line never got into a rhythm with 60-40 rotation. That's a good point, Lawrence. JFM and Quinnen need to play majority of the reps to anchor the defense. I agree. I don't like the pitch count that they have. I really don't. I understand the logic behind it. But if you have a potentially great player, you let great players play. You don't pitch count them. You don't know if the next play was the play when he was going to make a great play. You know what I mean? So I'm with you there, Lawrence. I have issue with that. So Thomas Cahill, another super chat. Thank you, man. What say you, GreenBean, on the rotation aspect of the D-line? Sack Exchange didn't rotate much. Now, it's interesting, right? I didn't know that the last comment was going to be tied to yours. But yeah, I got to say, I'm not the biggest fan of it. And this is the thing. It's like we talk about with the Denzel Mims thing and the Kenny Yeboah thing and the running back situation and all that, who they're playing, who they're not. The truth is that this coaching staff has never done this before. While I think they did a good job, it looked scary in the beginning. It was unnerving. First 4 games, it was like, ooh, we don't look so good. But I think that while they did a lot of positive things, and you saw absolute progression, especially from Saleh and LaFleur, and the quarterback coaches and all that, Kavanaugh, all that stuff really came around the corner. But the thing is, they were learning. So what they thought was good, like starting with 21 and 22 personnel packages, they got out of that by game 4. I think that the defensive line rotation, they might look like they're going to spend the offseason evaluating everything they did. And they might learn from that and go, you know what, man? That wasn't working. We kept taking Quinnen Williams off of the field, putting in Nathan Shepard, and the play went down. The impact went down. So maybe they changed that because, again, they were learning on the job. So I think a lot of stuff that they thought was the right thing to do will probably change because they're going to evolve. They've never done this before. So they're going to evolve as head coaches, as coordinators, as position coaches, all that stuff. They're going to evolve. Just like the medical staff. Like, we got to remember, they're not even here a year yet. So they have all new doctors and everything. They got to get their systems in place. They got to get the players doing what they want them to do for an extended period of time. Maybe it turns out next year or in 2 years, we're the least injured team in the NFL. Great. We don't know yet. That's the thing, Thomas Cahill. But I say on the surface, I got to tell you, I don't love it. I don't love it. I like putting our players on the field. Just like we did with the Loggeman Bird years. Those guys, they were in their position. They played 90% of the game in their position. Mercereau was defensive tackle. Dennis Byrd was a defensive tackle. Marvin Washington and Loggeman were on the ends. And that was your team. And you got Kyle Clifton. Marvin Jones took his place. You had Mo Lewis on the outside ultimately. You know what I mean? Man, they were good. They had a good D. Yep, Mo Lake says, if Gastineau doesn't get a roughing the passer, we may have won the Super Bowl. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, he's literally my favorite all-time Jet, and I can't take that one away. That was the stupidest, most bonehead play I've ever seen. So stupid. We had that game in the bag. We were going to the championship game. That was Denver, right? I think that was Denver. We would have kicked their ass. We already beat them earlier in the year. We beat them convincingly, too. If I remember correctly, maybe not. But I know that we beat them. And they were not a match for us. We were going to kick their ass. John Elway. We were going to kick their ass. Kenny O. Actually, I think Pat Ryan was playing. Kenny O went into the slump. We had the offense. We had the defense. We had everything. And friggin' Gastineau roughing the passer when the ball was gone. It seemed like a lifetime. So bad. No, Richard Todd, I'll tell you what, though. That year he was, in 81, he was great. Richard Todd was a good quarterback, man. He wasn't a great quarterback. He was a very good quarterback. And he just, I don't know, it was so bad, the Mud Bowl, it was almost like he was paid. Honestly, that's how bad it was. I remember that, man. I've watched that game numerous times. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible game. Oh, painful. That year, that was our year. That was one of the years, but that team should have won a Super Bowl. If they did, Gastineau, Klecko, all those guys would be in the Hall of Fame without question. Wesley Walker, maybe. All of them. But instead, they're the Jets. They're the losers. They're the never-dos, never-make-its, always blow-its. That's what they are. Bunch of losers. And who can argue? It's just us. It's just us sitting here, guys, going, no, we were great. And everybody goes, yeah, great. But we were. We just choked. Fucking A.J. Dewey. Right, man, Larry Turkin. You got that right. That's right. 2010. Well, 2010 was an interesting year because you want to know why we really lost Jets Blues? It wasn't because of one thing. It was because of the overarching energy bubble that we blew in New England. We came in, it's funny, man, my friends, I have two buddies, Jets fan. Remember, this is before GreenBean. I was GreenBean. I was online and everything, but they came to me the week before the Steelers game in 2010. They both conveyed the same concern to me that I was feeling too. The dialogue about the Steelers, the dialogue before the Patriots, it was hatred. It was talking shit. Cromartie, Rex. Remember Welker said all the stuff about Rex's feet and all that stuff. He got benched. It was tumultuous. It was heated. We were angry. Then we beat them, run around their field, dancing, doing flips and all that stuff. And then the week before the Steelers game, it was all respect. Yeah, the Steelers are a great team. There was none of it. It was gone. And we came into that game in the first half. We were non-existent. It was as if we didn't show up. Second half, we turned it around for sure. Dominated the second half. Not enough. Not enough. And Schottenheimer outsmarted himself again by not using Santonio Holmes, who had every desire in the world, every motivation to make the Steelers pay. You use that. He didn't. Very little. Remember, we were on the goal line, first and goal, and he passed. We drove running. We ran the ball all the way down the field, got to the, 3-yard line or whatever it was. And he passed 3 times. They stopped us. And then we ran it on 4th, and they were amped up. The stadium, the momentum had shifted, and they stuffed us. Then we got a safety, Jason Taylor, and all that shit. So it looked good, but dude, we needed that touchdown. That was it. That was the game. So the reason we lost the game is because the Patriots were our Super Bowl. Remember, they did the Empire State Building green. They did the Revis Island sign with the mayor. Remember? Yay, the Jets, Jets songs. And all the stuff. That's why. Family Man, thank you for the super chat. Need an edge at 4. No quarterback can throw on their back. Wide receiver at 10. We have no playmakers the league fears. Correct. I think people respect certain playmakers that we have. And I think Elijah Moore and Michael Carter are both going to be guys that the league fears. I believe that. I do. But you're right. So I want an edge at 4 too. The problem is, Family Man, is it has to be Thibodeaux or Hutchinson. If it's not. Now look, this is right now. Again, we might see Karlaftis light up the combine. We might see him skyrocket into the top 2 edge rusher conversation. Maybe. But in my opinion, he's not the same level of edge rusher as Hutchinson or Thibodeaux. It's not to say I don't like him. And if they took him at 4, I'd be perfectly fine with it. But I think Hamilton is in a different class in his position as Karlaftis is as edge rusher. I think Karlaftis is in the next tier, which is, right, in my opinion, we're early. Karlaftis, Ojabo, Drake Jackson, and Enigbar. That's who I think the next tier is. So here's the thing. If you lose Hamilton, there's no other Hamilton in this draft. There are other safeties. The next tier is there, but he's in a tier by himself. If you don't take Karlaftis, you can still potentially get Ojabo. Drake Jackson, we don't want. He's more of an outside linebacker, but Ojabo or Enigbar, they're both 270. I think. Let me look up Ojabo real quick. I just want to make sure I'm. Let me just see his weight. Hold on here. See, he's light too. Ojabo's light, 250. Enigbar's 270. But the point is that the you can probably get one of those at the next tier, and that's how they do it, man. They categorize in tiers, right? So you have like 3, 4, 5 guys in this tier. So if they're all gone, then you look at the next tier or whatever. You know what I mean? They have different guys with different positions and tiers. But those edge rushers are more than likely going to be closer together than they are to Hutchinson and Thibodeaux. Hutchinson and Thibodeaux are probably in another tier. So that's the whole point. You don't reach for the second tier when you have somebody at a position of need in the first tier. That said, they do need an edge rusher in the first 4 picks. I agree. And you're definitely right. No quarterback can throw from their back. Not even Mahomes, baby. Can't do it. Right? So I'm with you. I am. And a lot still has to fall. A lot still has to be seen. Okay? But if you just look at their numbers and how effective they have been in school, there's another tier after Hutchinson and Thibodeaux. But thank you, Phil, man. It's good stuff, right? I want so badly for Hutchinson or Thibodeaux to slip. And who knows, maybe Karlaftis lights up the combine and everybody. I like him. I do. I don't want to, people get it twisted. They think I don't. I get asked all the time, why don't you like Karlaftis? Like, I do like Karlaftis. I do. I like him a lot. I think he's a first round pick, no doubt. But it's like, there are tiers. You can love a guy and still have somebody else above him. You know what I mean? Like when we're going to be in the fourth round, there are going to be guys there I absolutely love. I wouldn't have taken them in the first or second. You know what I mean? So that's how that falls. You like that, James Thrice? I love you, ass pipe. I know somebody's gonna. Oh my God, somebody's gonna take that and make it a meme. I love you, ass pipe. Kaz is calling me a noob. I've only been a fan since 82. I know, man. I was born in 72, Kaz. I was born in 72. So, I never got to watch Name It, but it's crazy. I came into the world 3 years later. I'm old as shit too, man. I'm up there. But that's the goods. Oh, what is he? I just saw it. Benji says 2 missed field goals against Pittsburgh. Oh my God, Doug Bryan. That was painful. That was Herm. Whoops, sorry. That was the Herm teams, man. Herm was a good coach. He was basically riding the Parcells teams. You know what I mean? But he was good. He was a good coach. We had a good chunk of time with him. Lots of playoffs. You know what I mean? Like we were always competitive until the last year. Think about this. The Chiefs gave us 2 draft picks for Herm Edwards. Isn't that crazy? Think about this. How many head coaches can you think that were traded? Head coaches. The Jets have had 2 scenarios where we have received picks for our head coach. Now, we didn't necessarily trade Belichick, but he wasn't allowed to leave. He was under contract. So the fact that they did, we agreed. We got a first and a third, I think it was. That was the pick that we used on Sean Ellis or John Abraham, one or the other. So, but that was a killer, Benji. I was with my buddy, Joe the cop. We were losing our minds. I couldn't believe it. Doink. Terrible. Doug Bryan's career was over that day. That was the day. His career was over. What's John Hepburn talking about here? He says, I have an idea for branding the legend. That hat will be our defensive line. Hutchinson, John Franklin Myers, Quinnen Williams, and Carl Lawson. The rise of the green machine. Hey, dude. You got me. I'm in. Now, think about this. What if we go out and we get a nice, solid, above average vet cornerback to go with these young boys that we got? Then you get Hamilton and you bring in a vet safety like a Keanu Neal. You got a nice thumper Keanu Neal, you know what I mean? Nice strong safety. You got a ball hawking free safety. You got the Ashton Davis that can come in as a third safety at different packages and stuff. And you have that defensive line truly creating legitimate pressure by themselves. Every now and then you send a blitz. You got the 4 men that actually create pressure and quarterbacks that have to throw under duress. And you have a ball hawking safety back there, like an Ed Reed that sniffs it out, knows, has the ability to get there from anywhere on the field. That's what we're talking about. That's what we need. Legitimate pass rush and guys that can get to the ball. You just got to cover these wide receivers and shit. You got to cover them for a couple seconds. That's it. Stay with them. Stay on them for a couple of seconds. Carl Lawson and Hutchinson are going to get there. Doesn't that excite you? That's all I want. Misdirect, what's up, buddy? If Thib falls and Hamilton falls to 10, if Thib falls to 4 and Hamilton falls to 10, yeah. Dude, I might cry. That's all I want. Thibodeaux or Hutchinson at 4, Kyle Hamilton at 10, I would lose my absolute brains. I love it. Just like I love ass pipe. Yeah. In another week or two, I'm going to start releasing my sack exchange stuff for this offseason. I want to make a real push. I want to make some noise for Klecko this year. And I want to make some noise about Gastineau, too. I'm sick of it. We got to put it out there, man. We got to put it out there. Yeah, Testaverde with the Achilles. Right, Go Hangard. The next year after 98, we lost in that damn AFC championship game. Dude, game 1. That was the day, guys. I've told you my Cleveland story where I got into that huge fight. We went to Cleveland to welcome them back to the NFL, the Cleveland Browns. We rented a camper, and all my friends, we wore all different jerseys. There were 2 Jets fans, myself included, a Steelers fan, Dallas fans, Giants fans. We had a Dolphins fan. We had a big sign. We sat in the dog pound with a big sign. It said, "Welcome back, Cleveland." And let me tell you something. That was a night game. We were in Cleveland all day watching NFL games. We all went to this bar and watched the Jets. We were like, dude, we're going to crush the Patriots and we're going to go watch Cleveland and everything's going to be great. Fucking Vinny tore his Achilles. And the Cleveland fans got on me from that point. They assaulted us all day long because Testaverde was part of the team that was on the last Cleveland Browns team. Dude, they were like, Testaverde, fuck you. Yeah. I was a younger man, dude. I was a different guy. Let me just tell you, I didn't take kindly to that kind of stuff at that time. But anyway, we went to the Browns game. And they literally forced us to fight. They followed me around the whole stadium, me and my friends. I got into the hugest fight. We physically fought like 15 guys, but there was literally hundreds. I couldn't escape. I had to get myself arrested to save myself. It's crazy. All right, I got to catch up with the comments. I'm way behind. Let's see. Super chat from Dom C. What's up, Dom? Hey, buddy, I hope that you knew I was joking earlier. I was going to write to you. I was going to text you. I hope you knew. I know you did, but I still wonder. So, I was joking. So thank you for the super chat. 1998 Jets versus 2010 Jets. Who wins? Ooh, that's a great question. I might love this question. What do you guys think? I think that the 98 Jets beat them. Even though I do kind of think that the 2010 Jets might have been our best team. The 98 Jets were coached by Parcells, Ron Earhart, Charlie Weiss, Bill Belichick, Romeo Crennel, Maurice Carthon. You know what I mean? I don't know, dude. Brian Cox, Marvin Jones, Mo Lewis. Jeesh, right? Vinny Testaverde, Keyshawn Johnson, Wayne Corbett, Curtis Martin, Kevin Mawai. Wow. That's a fantastic question. We should figure something out, a way to do that comparison. Which team would win? That'd be fun, Dom. We should do that, buddy. If you guys know, Dom C writes our weekly articles for GreenBeanJetsfan.com. He's doing breakdowns of the prospects each week, different positional group. It's great. Fantastic reads. I'm getting nothing but positive response from it. It's amazing. I love what he's doing. I thank you for that, Dom. Dom's also going to help out We have private positional breakdowns going on in the Patreon. If you guys are considering or want to get in any of that on the Patreon, it's easy. Just there's a link in the top of the description. Click the link, pick a tier. You can see what the benefit packages are. Pick a tier that's right for you. All benefit tiers get in on the classic game parties. But the 2 and 3 get the positional breakdowns with Dom C and myself. That is a great question, Dom. That is great. I'm going to go 98. That's what I'm thinking. What's my pick? Deho song. What's my pick if the 2 edges and Hamilton are gone, like by our pick 4? If they're gone the first 3 picks? Well, I'm going to be looking to trade back. I got to figure that out. Who's my next player? I might go Karlaftis. Well, then Evan Neal's going to be there too. But I'm not on the same page with everybody who wants to draft a tackle up top. So I don't know. I don't think I would draft a tackle, but I'd consider it. You can take Karlaftis. I think the pick would be Karlaftis Deho song. That's what I think. I got to think about that more, though. What's up, Rusty Spooner? Hey, Green Bean and Gang Green fam, want to check out an underrated, no-the-radar player, Burks type wide receiver? Check out Eric Izukama from Texas Tech. Very much a steal. Excellent. Rusty Spooner throws out some gems every year, guys. So Eric Izukama, check it out. See, Lawrence says, if Pennington wasn't injured in the odd years, 2003, 5, 7, we probably would have been in the playoffs every year he was a quarterback. He was there. Yeah. I agree. There's not a question in my mind. Chad Pennington was fantastic. So incredibly accurate. So passionate. The team loved him. And we had a good team. We had good teams. Oh, man, you guys are right. We slipped into a painful place, guys. Exciting in my heart, but it's painful. Salmon Jets, thank you for the super chat. He says, I have a conspiracy theory. Shanahan was trying to work Saleh and LaFleur, and his plan was to draft Zach Wilson. Now Shanahan has beef with both LaFleurs. Does he? Does he have beef? I didn't hear about that. Do they? Or is that part of the conspiracy theory? That would be interesting. So he's saying Shanahan tried to take advantage of Saleh and LaFleur, and his plan was to draft Zach Wilson. Well, he fucked up, didn't he, Salmon Jets? He made a mistake if that was the goal. I do think that he would have drafted Zach Wilson if he was there. I think that was the number one. I think that was the quarterback he hoped to get, but obviously you got to be fine with the next guy because you don't trade 3 firsts, which is what they gave. And change, right? Let me see what that trade was. When Niners, 49ers, draft day trade. Let me see. All right. The 49ers gave up multiple first-round picks and a third rounder. So they gave up 3 firsts. They gave up the number 3. Wait, they moved up to number 3 overall. The price tag for such a decision included first-round picks in 22 and 23, as well as a third-round selection in 22. So 3 firsts. Right? I think it was 3. Price tag, first-round picks in 22. Maybe it was 2 firsts and a third. Either way, you got to be okay trading 2 firsts and a third even to move up for a quarterback. But that's the stupidity of it. Unless you really loved either one, you're like, I don't care. But that's what McCagnon did. He traded 3 second-round picks to move up 3 spots and had no idea who he was going to get. In my opinion, he thought he was getting Baker Mayfield. That's what I think. That's what I'm confident in that. He didn't think Darnold was going to be there. He got lucky with that pick. Jeesh. Baker Mayfield, huh, everybody? Baker Mayfield. That's an interesting story, Salmon Jets. Thing is, they weren't working Saleh. He was trying to work Joe Douglas, and Joe Douglas is shrewd. He doesn't say much, but he knows his shit, man. That's not to say everything's going to go right, but you can't deny Joe Douglas knows what he's doing. He might not pick the right guy. He might all blow up, but he knows what he's doing. He's not McCagnon. He's not Idzik. Those guys didn't know what the hell they were doing. Joe Douglas, he knows how to do this. He worked under the best. I don't know, Tammy. Sanchez was pretty good. But you got to think, Sanchez had games where he literally had 150 yards because the team was protecting him numerous times. He didn't know how to slide. They had to get Joe Girardi in here to teach him that. And they had to have a color-coded system for him because he would throw too many interceptions. He made too many boneheaded mistakes. He was very talented. And he had some great games, man, no doubt. But that team was built like a brick shithouse. It was good. There were no holes anywhere on that team. Sanchez was the weak link on that team. Best offensive line in the league, number one defense in the league, number one rushing attack in the league. And we had Santonio Holmes, Braylon Edwards, Jericho Cotchery, Dustin Keller. So, pretty good. But I don't think Sanchez was bad. He's not great. Evidenced by the rest of his career, too. Has great games, great moments. But I'm not an anti-Sanchez guy. Yeah, I know people like to say Sanchez beat Manning and Brady in consecutive games, and he did. But it wasn't like he had 350-yard games. You know what I mean? That was the defense, the everybody else. Those teams were stacked. Stacked. I might change my mind on the 2010 to 2090 or 1998. I don't know. So Chad Pennington got hurt against the Giants. Oh, remember that, Paris? Dude, that was the worst. Fucking preseason. The guy picked him up and slammed him broke his wrist. Remember that? I mean, I was with Joe the Cop. And we literally looked at each other and said, our season's over. We didn't even get a season this year. So much pain. This damn team. Right. E10 says it. Sanchez led the NFL in turnovers his first 2 years, had 55% completion percentage. I don't know if he was garbage. He had one good year at USC. Not sure why Jets fans think he was good. I think it's in the middle. That's the thing. But you're right. That's the thing. Sanchez was not some great quarterback. He was a good quarterback and had a great team around him. But the truth is, he was the weak link on that team. If we would have had just like a Vinny Testaverde, or somebody that could be a game manager and just be safe with the ball, throw for 250 a game and just be safe, we win the Super Bowl. That's what I think. Anyway. Baker's trash too. Yeah, he is. Let me see what we got here. Joe the Cop is bad luck? Shit. Tell me about it. But to Joe the Cop, I'm bad luck. And I just might be. I don't know. So I don't know, man. But it's an interesting thing when, you think about all of the closeness that we've had. And then all of the just boneheaded mistakes that we've made. Guys that don't like Joe Douglas at all, like that think he sucks and like he should go and all, they haven't been paying attention. The Jets have had non-football people running the Jets for far too long, man. At different times. At numerous different times in their history. We've had general managers, presidents of football operations that literally didn't know anything about football. They were businessmen. GMs that were accountants. We've had more than one accountant. Accountant, guys. Now, you need an accountant up there. Your GM should be a football man. He should have spent 20 years as a scout, or, you know what I mean? Something like he should know that. Player evaluation, relationships in the NFL, like coming up with guys. Oh, that's who you need running your team. We had fucking accountants. So there's no when you look at it with an objective mind through our history, dude, we are a slapdick organization. We've had our moments. Sure. Dick Steinberg was a well-respected general manager. Terry Bradway, no. Tannenbaum had some moments. Yes. Trader Mike, he was fucking crazy. Traded away everything. Yeah, man. Pay anybody anything. And we almost got there, so it almost worked. You got to give that to him. But he wasn't a football guy. He pretends to be now. He's not. I mean, he's got to learn. He knows something, of course. But he was an accountant. Parcells brought him on because of his mastery with the numbers. That's it. Now, that's an asset. But let's not pretend that he knew football. You know, Idzik, the only reason we got Idzik is because they were force-feeding Rex Ryan, who everybody knew was a sinking ship, had a very slim chance of being successful, and they didn't want him to get fired in 2 years because of Rex. That's what it was. And the only guy we got was the accountant from the Seahawks, John Idzik. And then we hired Mike McCagnon, who technically is a football guy, but he sucked. He didn't know anything. So, and then you look at the Johnsons. They don't know what they're doing, but the good news with them is they admit it. They hire outside people. They've hired legendary GMs to pick us a general manager and coach. Please, we don't know what we're doing. They hired an outside consulting firm. Please fucking find us somebody that'll be successful. So you got to give that to them. But now that they have Joe Douglas, we have the first legitimate general manager in here in forever. Since Dick Steinberg, really. I mean, Parcells was not a good GM, guys. Fantastic coach. He covered for it. You look at his drafts and everything. The 2000 draft was great because he had 4 first-round picks. There's only one other pick in that whole draft that did anything. That's Lavernius Coles. Great pick. The rest of the draft is hot garbage. Every one of his drafts were I mean, you get medium level play, average play out of Dedrick Ward, Leon Johnson. I loved Leon Johnson, but let's be real. You know, it's not even a starter. The punt returner, good. Yeah, sure. But it's like, you know, Parcells was not a good GM. That's why he left the Patriots. The whole I want to buy the groceries thing. If you want me to cook the dinner, I should be able to buy the groceries. Great line. Makes sense. But you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, guys, this is the first guy. We got to give him time. This is the first guy that actually came from the right line and knows what he's doing. Dude, evidenced by his trades, how he knew he had to gut the whole friggin' team. Dude, he gutted everything from the trainer to the quarterback to the scouts. He didn't fire every scout, but he did. He plucked some scouts and got rid of them. Hired new analytics department, coaches, everything. Turned a pile of garbage that McCagnon brought us into an additional draft class. Dude, I don't know what people are thinking when they don't like Joe Douglas. Now, you got to give him time. But we're on to something here. Finally. Thank you, Cyril Devine. Appreciate the super chat. So here's your question. If the Jets don't trade for Brett Favre, they probably win the Chad Pennington in 2009. Isn't that funny that we wanted to get out of the Chad contract too? Chad had a couple rough years before that. It's not really very good anymore. Rough years. Arm weakening, the 2 shoulder surgeries, all the stuff, the wrist surgery. And so we cut him for Brett Favre. And what did Chad Pennington do? He went down to our rivals in Miami, which we should have traded him. But that's the thing with Tannenbaum. He makes stupid moves. The two very stupid moves Tannenbaum did was when he went after Peyton Manning, when he got cut from the Colts. He went after him. Peyton Manning snubbed him. He felt guilty and gave Mark Sanchez an extension. Unnecessary. He already had years on his contract. He gave him a pay raise to say he was sorry. That's the truth. And then with the Chad Pennington thing, he traded for Brett Favre. Fine. But you have a quarterback under contract. You can get something for him. He let him go out of respect. And Chad said, yeah, screw you. Went to our division rival and motivated style won the division in our face. In our face. You don't allow that. You control the situation. Now, on my heart, go, yeah, it's good. It's a good guy. Fuck that. Pardon my French. I just started cursing a lot. I apologize. No more for the rest of the night. My bad. So, like that's what I'm talking about. Joe Douglas is never doing that. He's going to get something. He's going to control the situation. He's not letting his quarterback go to a division rival. And you know what I mean? Now, maybe you think Chad was done anyway, but I don't, clearly he wasn't. But I don't know. That team was good with Brett Favre too. But shit, man, what happened? What happened? He 5 weeks left in the season. He tore his bicep and nobody reported it. They just kept playing him. Craziness. I don't know what the hell we're thinking. Yeah, Fat Gandalf. Mangini was a good personnel guy. He was. Now, technically, Tannenbaum was the GM, right? Technically, he's the guy who made the moves and everything, the trade for Revis. But, dude, when you look at the years, Tannenbaum with Mangini and Tannenbaum with Rex, they're completely different. Tannenbaum was not a GM. He leaned on his football guys, which are the coaches, to help him. They're completely different. Ferguson, Harris, Mangold, Revis. Now, he had his clams too, but overall, those were some good drafts, man. Leon Washington, Drew Coleman, Marquise Cole, like all those guys. You go down to Rex, we got Kyle Wilson, Quentin Copels. You know what I mean? It's like, it's terrible. Terrible. Stephen Hill. Calvin Pryor. I was Idzik. But anyway, James Farrell, he wasn't terrible, Paris. He was average. He was a good linebacker. And think about this. Parcells had the number 1 overall pick. He traded it for a handful of beans. He ended up getting, I think it was Dedrick Ward and Liam Washington for it. And Farrier, obviously. He traded back and got Farrier. Dude, you had Orlando Pace sitting there. And the year before, he could have taken Peyton Manning. If you just would have told Archie Manning, sure, I'll take your son. Of course I'm going to take Peyton Manning. He said he can't commit. Peyton Manning wanted to come to New York. He wanted to play here. He wanted to be the number 1 overall pick. Because we said we can't commit, he stayed in school an extra year. Crazy, dude. Everything could have been different. If Parcells would have just said yes to Peyton Manning, we'd have Peyton Manning. Or he should have just stayed put at number 1 and got Orlando Pace. Or he should have got real value for that damn pick and gotten 2 additional firsts for it. Instead, he got a 3rd and a 5th. Craziness. I don't remember exactly what he got. Somebody wants to look that up. Tell me. I do remember that. It was actually 12, though. It was the Idzik 12. He used every one of them instead of using some of that capital to trade up and get better players. And let me tell you, look, what did we get out of that? Calvin Pryor, who had a couple okay years. I mean, honestly, they were kind of terrible. Jay Samaro had 1 decent year with us. And then Quincy Enunwa. That's it, dude. Everybody else was a complete Fail. I know, right, Tony? Isn't that funny to say? We had Brett Favre. Oh, my God. That's funny. Roz, thank you for the super chat, Roz. I appreciate that. If you have a question, I'll try to get to it, man. I don't see anything from you, but if you write something, I'll try to keep my eyes open. We've got like 5 more minutes, guys. Okay. Greenbean, I believe this is Yoshi. What's up, Yoshi? Greenbean, I believe in JD as well, but even I have to admit the time is ticking and we need tangible results. What were you? I don't think the time is ticking at all. I really don't. I don't think this is the final year. Joe Douglas we could completely explode. He's not getting fired. I don't see it. I think Joe Douglas has a 6-year contract. He negotiated that 6-year contract because he said, listen to me. This isn't getting turned around in 2, 3, 4. It's not happening. I need time to evaluate this team. I need time to potentially gut the roster. I need to rebuild this entire organization, and I need the time to do it. The first year, he had Adam Gase. Actually, the first 2 years, he had Adam Gase, who was on the same level. He just sat there patiently, did his draft. You know what I mean? Did what he had to do. Let Gase fucking sink his own ship. I cursed again. Sorry. Let Gase sink his own ship. Let Sam sink his own ship. Gave Sam every opportunity. Go ahead, man. Prove. He couldn't do it. He just tore it down last offseason, guys. You know what I mean? He just tore that team down. Jamal the year before, Leo. But it's like, so you got to, I don't think the clock's ticking at all. I think Joe Douglas is here for 6 years minimum. At worst, 5. I don't see it. So I disagree. But I'll say this. What would I consider a successful season? 8, 9 wins. Like what used to be 500. You can't have 500 anymore, which bothers me. I like saying 500. So we can't say 500 anymore. But I think 8 wins would be a successful season. Now, I want more than that. I would love to see a 9-win season and squeak in the playoffs. That's what I think that would be what I'm like, okay. But if we won 7 games and had a couple closies that we just, nail biters, heartbreakers, yeah, it's successful. It is after hours, Isaac. Thank you for the allowance. The problem is that people watch this over the week and they watch it at noon. So to them, it's like, why is this guy such a potty mouth? It's noon. It's 11 a.m. for God's sakes. So, oh man, that must have been a great game, Jay. He was at the game. Pennington clinched the playoffs. Oh no, terrible game. I mean, great game. Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst. I know. We've seen it. Whoops. Seen it all. There are so many layers to our pain. It's crazy. Let's see. Josh is saying Carter, the running back, AVT, more home run hits. To be honest, even Eccles and Carter are solid. Yeah, absolutely, dude. No question. And like we can't say Nazrul Dean and Sherwood are busts or anything. We can't. You can 3 years, man. 3 years. That's what it takes. Jonathan Marshall, we have no idea. These guys could be great. Plus, we got the undrafted free agent class. We got Isaiah Dunn back there. We got Hamilcar Rashid. These guys have potential, man. Legit potential. Bryce Huff, Javelin Guidry. I think this might be the end for Guidry, though. Although you can't deny that the staff likes him. They do. What are you saying, Rob V? You said true story. Where is it? You got a whole bunch of shit. I'm going to try to find what you're talking about. Rob V. Okay. Say what you want about JD, but he's at least a competent GM that is building the team the right way. Yeah, I agree. He's competent. You can see it all over him. Think about this too. He got here within his first year. He traded with the Giants, who we haven't traded with in over 40 years, something like that. And the Patriots twice. And he got the better of the Patriots. Twice. Two teams that we just like they were off limits to all of our GMs. He's like, why? They got Demaryius Thomas, God rest his soul. I want him. I need a vet receiver. Gave him a sixth. Next year, they wanted to move up in the draft. He got 2 picks in that draft and that same sixth back. So it was like a free rental with the Patriots. Crazy. He's like, I'll fucking trade, but I'll trade with the Patriots. What do I care? They got something I want. I'm taking it. Nobody's off limits to me. Why wouldn't I trade with the Giants? They're not even in our conference. But Jets and Giants, like we don't trade. Dude, we should be helping each other. Truth. We should have like a brother to brother relationship with the Giants. Why do we have this war? We should be, dude, guys, you know how easy it would be, like trades, like a guy's not working for you. You call the Giants and go, yeah, man. Players would love it because they don't have to move. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it should be. Why do we have this thing where we can't trade with the Giants? Makes no sense to me. It never did. Now, I hate the Giants as much as the next guy. You know what I mean? I'm always rooting against the Giants. But as far as trades and stuff, come on. Makes no sense. Joe Douglas did it his first year. We haven't traded with them in decades. The Patriots, we haven't traded with. I don't know if we traded ever with them. Twice. That's when you know somebody's business. No emotions. Business. I'm business. I'm here to win. I'm here to get better. That's what I want. Deli just says Shaq Evans. That's right. Jalen Saunders, always crushing it, isn't he? Jason always going through it. There he is. He's doing that thing. Shaq Evans. Dude, I remember that. I was on Jetnation for that entire draft. 3 days in a row. I sat on Jetnation. We did our chat thing. The only pick I legitimately liked was Jay Samaro. That's the only one. Every other pick, I was like, what are they doing? I wanted them to take Vontaze Burfict that year. So many players I wanted. The only one I liked was Jay Samaro. I was like, who the hell is Jalen Saunders? Why did we not take a receiver yet in the deep wide receiver? Like, why are we doing this? Oh, the deep wide receiver class was the next year. Sorry. No, it was a year before. Anyway, I'm smearing it all together, but you get the point. Yeah, I agree, Michael Foster. I honestly think the casual fan can walk up just with like base knowledge and do better than the draft set that the Jets have done over the years. No doubt. And I know if I was the GM, I would have us, I would have had us in the Super Bowl already. There's not a fucking doubt in my mind. I have literally not one doubt that if I was the GM for a 10-year period or something, I would get to the Jets to the Super Bowl at least once. There's no doubt. I'd be walking around practice as the GM, laying into people. What are you doing? Why are you laying over there laughing? You know you're fourth string. No laughing on fourth string. You should be working. And if you're on fourth string and you're taking it easy, get off my team. Third, fourth string should be working just forever. They should be never sleep. Like that's the way it should be. You want to make it in this league? You want to be a millionaire, dude? You want glory? You better be putting it in. And if you're not putting it in, get off my team. Nobody should be happy with fourth string, third string. Nobody. And if you are, get out. What do you think? You think that will work? What do you think, guys? You tell them, right, Mike? That's it. And I'd be like, you guys are out of your minds. I'd seriously be looking at practice. I'd walk over to my coaches after practice and go, what was going on over there? It's like Westhoff. Remember Westhoff? He would literally tell people, I don't even know why you're still on this team. You're so bad. I don't even know why you're still here. He did that with David Clowney. He told him to cut Clowney 2 years in a row. Said, this guy sucks. I know he's fast. I know he's big. I know he's got everything you want. He sucks. Remember that? Westhoff. So good. Where is Brian Winters these days? I think he might be out of the NFL. Let me see. Yeah, he's a free agent. Let me look at his stats real quick. I want to see, because Buffalo, we cut him the beginning of last offseason, and then he went to the Bills, and they cut him the next year. Let me see. What is his stats? Come on, everybody. Give me some Brian Winters stats. Brian Winters NFL stats. Let's go to Pro Football Reference, the best free reference site out there, in my opinion. Oh, he was on Arizona this year. He played in 2 games for Arizona. He played in 12% of their plays. Brian Winters, drafted in 2013. He could be considered an okay draft pick. He was an okay draft pick. Yeah, totally. I agree, Rob. Westhoff should have been a head coach. He would have gotten you to. He would get you there. That's what you need. You need a guy who's no nonsense. Who goes, I am tired of protecting your feelings. This is a extremely huge business. We make billions here every single year, hundreds of billions of dollars. You want a piece of that? You better do certain things. If you can't do those things, you need to go. It's that simple. Now, if you put in the work, we treat you with love, respect, support, all that. But if you don't want to put in the work, you don't belong here. This is the best. This is the creme de la creme. My teams would be sharp as a razor. That's what my teams would be. Yeah, man. I agree, Paris. I think GreenBean should have been taken over as head coach and weave you back. Oh, come on, you asshole. Yeah, okay. I wasn't born. I thought you were poking at my age. But yeah, dude, I would have. I mean, look, clearly I'm not qualified to be a GM or a head coach. I'm not so stupid as to think that. That said, with what we've seen, telling you, I would have done a better job. I don't question that. Now, better than Joe Douglas? No. I don't even know anybody in the NFL. I'd be making phone calls. They'd be like, who? Like, me, Bean. I want you to give me 3 firsts for a second. Yes, that's what I want. I agree, Rusty. All right, so we're going to wrap this up. Listen, I want to thank you guys for the Tuesday night after hours Jets Fest this year. It's been great. This is a great time. But we're moving this show essentially into the Monday night slot, and we're changing it to a draft show. That's really all this is. Still the same stuff. We're just going to make it about the draft, the mock drafts. Every week, I'm going to put out the polls, and we get a themed mock draft every single week. What trades we want, no trades, whatever. We're going to put out the themes every week. You guys show up, and we do it, okay? So no more Tuesdays after tonight, but we're going to have every Monday night, 10 p.m. Every Monday night, 10 p.m. Look for my tweets on that day, on the morning of that day, and on YouTube, I put out a poll as well. And we'll get the themes in. It's a great time. If you haven't been there yet, you're going to like it. You're going to like it's the best mock out there, hands down. No doubt in my mind. Nobody touches it. Nobody touches it. It's the best because it's you guys. You guys govern what it is. So that's the thing. I'm just one vote and the guy who's up here. But I don't have any more power than you. Every now and then I'll pull some power strings. But generally speaking, no. But I love Tuesday night. It'll come right after the mock season. The draft is over. We'll be right back here. But thanks, guys. We got a lot going on Patreon this off season. So if you've been considering it, now's the time, because you can just click on the link, look at the tiers. The $5 tier gets some cool stuff, and they get starting next week, they'll get their names up there. We're good doing the classic game watch parties together, private, just us. And then the $10 and $25 tiers get the classic breakdowns. I mean, not classic, but the positional breakdowns, the classic games. The $25 tier gets a t-shirt in addition to all that. Plus the $25 tier gets to be a guest host on one Monday Night Mock. So that's cool too. Check it out. So anyway, I always appreciate your support, guys. Thanks to all the super chats tonight. And thanks for being here. I love you guys. And I hope you have a great night. I'll see you Thursday for the Thursday Thick of It. Got the goddamn Jet show coming on, all three of them. So it'll be a good time. You guys have let me see. Wait, let me get that off. You guys have a great night. I'll see you Thursday.
I think he's going to be day one, a violent vertical edge setter.
We competing today. I see some gas on the hips. Get that mindset to put your shoulder on somebody. Dig, drop, you finish. Hey, burn down. These are weird. Worse than that, right?
This is when the Colts had Peyton Manning waiting there because he didn't come out the year before because Parcells, our brilliant head coach, decided not to tell Archie Manning he couldn't guarantee that he would take his kid first. It's just the stupidest thing. History could have been totally different for us, Jets fans. But it's not. And it sucks because Parcells is one of the greatest coaches we've ever had, if not the greatest. So how can you complain? You can't. I hate that prison cell. I hate it. I want to yell. I want to bitch about it. But I can't because Parcells was good. Traded back. Got James Farrier and Dedrick Ward out of that one. That's what I think. He was a failure. He was a monumental failure. The first year, 2015, we signed Revis back. We got Marcus Gilchrist and Buster Screen and Antonio Cromartie. We drafted Leo. And we had Wilkerson and Sheldon Richardson and Snacks Harrison and all these guys. Right? So we had a good year. We brought in Brandon Marshall. We had Eric Decker. Oh, man. Fitzpatrick. And the magic of all that got us a pretty good year, but as is standard for us, we ended up losing in the last game to Rex Ryan's Buffalo Bills. Little, yee, take that, Jets fans. Like, that's how it goes, right? Yeah! I love Jets fans. You name one other organization that deals with the shit that we deal with and is still this passionate. Sure, you got the little segments, the dog pound. But look at the Patriots fans. They just had 20 years of there are kids, there are 20, 21-year-old, 25-year-old people in this world that are Patriots fans who have never known losing. Never in their entire lifetime. They were born into this Belichick-Brady thing, and they have consistently won. They've won 6 Super Bowls. They've been to 9 or whatever it is. And then when they didn't get in there, they were the AFC Championship game or the semifinals or whatever. And what happens the year that Tom Brady leaves? Dude, you have droves of people leaving the Patriots. These are diehard Pats fans. This is what they have. Diehard Pats fans going to be Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans. Why? Because I'm a fucking fan of Tom Brady. Bullshit. What is that?